I step onto the grounds of Greensboro College. Greensboro, with the glitter of my family name shining like a badge of privilege, and the expectation that my tuition of $40,000 per semester will purchase a flawless future. I carry my suitcase of designer labels, my phone full of filters, and a heart that beats to the rhythm of entitlement. The first breath of campus air feels stale, as if the breath of previous generations of disappointment still lingers. I glance at the ramp that should welcome a wheelchair, yet the slope is so steep and the rails are missing that the sign reads a cruel joke in liberal code. A wheelchair user would be turned away without a second thought. This is bad because a university that pretends to be inclusive while denying physical access betrays the very promise of equal opportunity. It signals that the administration values image over human dignity, and it teaches students that discrimination can hide behind polite language. I wander to the registrar office, where the receptionist smiles with practiced indifference. I ask about my schedule and the tuition package, and she answers with a monotone that feels like a recorded loop. The staff are rude. They speak as if I am a nuisance rather than a benefactor. Rude staff create an environment of fear. When a student feels unwelcome, motivation evaporates, grades suffer, and the institution loses the very purpose of education. The lack of respect also reflects poor training and a culture that does not value interpersonal skills. In my first class, the professor opens his laptop, sighs, and then spends the entire 90 minutes scrolling through a social media feed. He never writes on the board, never explains the theorem, never answers any question. A professor who does not teach leaves the student to navigate complex material alone, leading to confusion, anxiety, and ultimately failure. This failure is a direct result of misallocation of funds that could have hired competent educators. But instead, the college hoards money for vanity projects. I meet my academic advisor, a woman who gestures toward a brochure titled Freedom to Choose. Yet, she whispers that I should consider quitting because the course load is too heavy. An advisor who encourages quitting undermines the very mission of guidance. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. Students who are told they cannot succeed begin to believe it, drop out, and the college still collects tuition. This is a betrayal of trust and a manipulation of vulnerable minds. At the football stadium, I see empty bleachers where the crowd should roar. The coach has resigned weeks ago, and the recruitment flyer remains plastered on the wall. The administration pretended that a new football field would bring glory, yet they hired no staff to run the program. This is bad because the false promise of athletics draws families who hope for scholarships and community, only to deliver disappointment. It reveals a pattern of marketing hype without substance, draining financial resources that could improve academic services. The financial aid office hands me a ledger of hidden fees, processing charges, technology fees, activity fees that were never disclosed. The total cost swells beyond the advertised tuition, leaving me with a larger debt than I imagined. Hidden fees erode trust, cause financial stress, and force students to take on excessive loans. The root cause is opaque billing practices and a profit-first mindset. My dorm room is a claustrophobic box of cracked plaster, a single window that lets in a thin slice of winter light, and a bed that squeaks with every movement. The furniture is outdated, the mattress lumpy, the curtains faded. Living in such a cramped, uncomfortable space lowers sleep quality, increases irritability, and makes studying nearly impossible. It demonstrates a failure of facility maintenance and a disregard for student well-being. When I submit a maintenance request for a leaking sink, the tick.
Ket sits idle for weeks. The plumber never arrives and the water continues to drip, creating a constant tapping rhythm that haunts my nights. Ignored maintenance requests breed a sense of abandonment. Students learn that the institution does not care about basic needs, which leads to resentment and disengagement. The cafeteria serves food that is cold, soggy, and devoid of flavor. The macaroni is overcooked, the vegetables are wilted, the meat is rubbery.
I have been looking into crimes near Greensboro College, Greensboro, and the shopping strips right there are like carnival midways run by ghosts who want your wallet. I bet you already feel tired just thinking about it. I know I do. They run this card game on the sidewalk, 3 little bent queens and a guy who talks faster than my mama when she is mad. The red queen is supposed to be easy to follow, but the hands move like they have grease on them. Tourists stop because it looks fun for 2 seconds, then they drop 300, then 1,000, then suddenly they are pulling out the vacation fund and the scammer is stuffing bills into a socks. I picture the tourist walking back to the hotel, face sunburned from shame, counting coins for the airport shuttle. The scammer probably bought a new phone that same night and is laughing in a parking lot that smells like old fries. The Walmart near Greensboro College, Greensboro, is like a magnet for plastic skin. The checkout machines wear little silver jackets called skimmers. They hug your card and copy every number while the cashier is still asking if you want a bag. You swipe, you leave, you think everything is fine, then your bank calls you while you are eating ice cream and says somebody just bought 3 televisions in Texas. I imagine the visitor screaming in the lobby, luggage half-packed, flight tomorrow, bank account bleeding. The scammer is probably printing new cards in a motel bathtub, watching cartoons, eating chips. Those little gas stations close to campus, Sheetz and Best Mart, they feel safe because lights are bright and coffee smells sweet, but the counters are traps. Strangers wave those plastic gift cards. They tell the clerk the machine is slow, just activate it now and I will pay after I scratch my phone. The clerk does, the card turns to dust, the strangers grab the real Visa cards and lottery tickets and sprint. I see the clerk crying in the break room, manager yelling, tourist behind them missing 5 minutes of vacation and never knowing why the line stopped. The robbers probably drove that white Volkswagen all the way to Florida before the sun came up, radio loud, counting money on the dashboard.
Businesses near Greensboro College, Greensboro feel like a practical joke that forgot to end. I came expecting the usual college town sparkle quirky bookshops, warm coffee steam curling into elm trees, prices that remember students survive on instant noodles. Instead, I stepped into a slow-motion blooper reel where every cash register rings like a sad trombone. Let me walk you through the mood. Imagine a shopping center that calls itself friendly yet greets you with the warmth of a tax audit. The asphalt is a jigsaw of potholes and repaving crews who only work during lunch rush, so your tires and your temper erode at the same speed. Inside, the corridors smell of drywall dust and quiet grudges. Security guards profile shoppers the way picky cats sniff new furniture. Small boutiques get love letters that read, "You have 30 days to vanish." One family of dressmakers, Pink Poppy, built a loyal following, then received an eviction memo slipped under their door like a ransom note. The reason a bigger chain wanted the oxygen they were breathing. If you are an entrepreneur with dreams, this place will file them under future dumpster location. Parking signs point in 4 directions at once, a compass designed by M. C. Escher. Disabled guests roll onto fresh steps that some planner glued across the middle of previously flat sidewalks, forcing wheelchairs into rain puddles, while able-bodied pedestrians watch like it is avant-garde theater. Inside Belk, a husband spent $4,000 on a Christmas surprise, a diamond ring that never returned from resizing, and a designer purse that turned out to be pre-owned, stained with mystery makeup and regret. Management answered his worry with a collective shrug, so synchronized it could be an Olympic event. When he asked for the store manager, the staff played hide-and-seek behind racks of discounted perfume. If you enjoy funding other people's apathy, this is your charitable outlet. Cross the street for coffee, and the plot thickens like burnt espresso. Tate Street Coffee House looks cozy, until you sit down and discover the house rules shift according to who you are. Students of color report being told they cannot just hang out, while classmates at the next wooden table cradle backpacks and laptops without purchase. One woman entered, maskless and apologetic, offered to pay for a disposable mask, and watched the employee swipe a quarter from her card after the mask was already on her face, like charging a passenger for the lifeboat once the ship is half sunk. The Wi-Fi passcode should probably be "Conditions apply." Need a workout? Pure Barre will sell you an hour of self-improvement, then direct you to the wrong studio, scold you for wearing the wrong socks, and leave you standing on the sidewalk in stretchy pants, questioning every life choice that led you to this moment. It is the fitness equivalent of a Tinder date who ghosts you after you have already ordered dessert. Hungry? Jerusalem Market on Elm promises Middle Eastern sunshine, but delivers pebbles in the chickpeas, literal stones that crunch like bitter fortune cookies. The owner waves away concern. Oh, that happens. Somewhere in the back of house, hair drifts into platters like unwanted seasoning lambs exit the kitchen wearing leather jackets of overcook, while chickens barely wave from the grill, still cold in the center. Kosher and halal become interchangeable labels, rolled out like mismatched socks. The cashier may greet you with the enthusiasm of a rainy Tuesday in February, or may suggest you leave because nothing, absolutely nothing, can be cooked for at least 20 minutes. Go contemplate existence elsewhere. When night falls, Chemistry Nightclub lights up with disco promises, then hands women a syllabus on how to tolerate harassment.
Security guards memorize one phrase: "He is just socially awkward," as if awkwardness were a license to shadow a woman from bar to dance floor, offering to buy drinks she has refused 9 times in a row. Bartenders retaliate with sarcasm and sudden cutoffs when patrons sound too sassy above the bass. Portable toilets stand outside in winter frost like sentinels of indignity. Pregnant guests get doors slammed on them by off-duty staff who later rifle through unattended bags. The owner, rumor says, keeps a collection of negative Yelp screenshots instead of apology notes. Entry rules mutate Canadian driver's license, denied. Tip requested at the door by the same person who checks ID, mandatory. It is a chemistry experiment where customer satisfaction is the catalyst that never shows up. Dram Draft styles itself a temple of craft cocktails, but the bartender is too busy contemplating the wall of bottles to notice actual humans. Asian patrons wait half an hour while newer arrivals receive drinks. Eve drinks, Eve drinks, Eve drinks, Eve drinks, Eve drinks, Eve drinks.